Oh my Lord.
Yeah. So it looks like we are live streaming. Let me make sure we have all of our settings going on. Directing. All right. So it says that we are live streaming on Facebook. So good morning and happy Sunday, everybody. This is Vigil Vigil and a very special guest, Marisol Tejada Nappi. I want to hope to welcome you to this brief conversation all month long during the end of June and the beginning parts of July. I'm going to be going live to feature some of the phenomenal women of the Boss Latinas Anthology. As you all know, I'm sure you've been seeing my posts on all of our groups and on my pages about the July 15th Boss Latinas Anthology book launch and power luncheon here in San Diego. There is a remote option to attend. We will be live streaming you in. I am so very excited. What we're going to be doing is just I'll throw the link on there so you can make sure that you're registered for the power luncheon to attend us with us in person, or of course to attend via Zoom as we live stream you in. All registrations come with a copy of the book. This is going to be one of our greatest power luncheons to date, I think, in the last 4 years. We have featured phenomenal women. We have featured over 100 different amazing women talking about their business, their organization, how they power through during hard times, during rough times, how do they continue to keep their head on straight when the world is going awry. And today, a very special guest is going to be sharing with us more about who she is, a little bit about what you can expect to read in her chapter in the book. And of course, because we are all entrepreneurs and business owners, the products and services that she provides so that you can, of course, buy from her, be a supporter of the amazing women who are being featured in our Boss Latinas Anthology, as well as get to know us a little bit so you know what to expect at the Power Lunch. And so happy Sunday and good morning, Marisol. How are you today?
Good. How are you, Vigil?
I'm doing good. Doing good. We're having like a heat wave here in Southern California, and so it is hot.
We have a heat wave in New Jersey since yesterday, to the point that my dog doesn't even want to go outside. It's too hot for him, so he wants to stay in the air conditioner here.
Yep. We have been either we'll go for a drive in the car where we could have the nice air conditioner and explore our new area, because as some of you know, we have moved from North County to right outside of downtown San Diego, and so we're still exploring. So we'll go in the car for an air conditioned ride, or we'll stay in our rooms with the air conditioning on. It's what's happening.
That's how hot it is. You have to keep cool. Stay cool, my friends.
Exactly. So let's get to it. Tell us about what was your inspiration? Why did you decide to join the Boss Latinas Anthology? And then from there, then you can tell us more about your business and all of the amazing things that you do, because you have multiple income streams, which I have been, touting for a while now. Like if you want to reach those higher thresholds of income and build your family wealth, you have to have multiple streams of income. So let's talk about that a little bit afterwards. So tell us, what brought you to the Boss Latinas Anthology?
I love browsing through Facebook, and one day, for some reason, my feed came up, the Facebook group that you have with the Latinas, and I said, wait a minute, I don't belong to any of these Latinas Facebook pages, and I don't know why, because I am Latina, I speak Spanish, I have a story, I come from Dominican Republic, I've had struggles. I want to share more of my my likings and make friends, Latinas, one way or the other have gone through different things in life, because, we are Latinas, we come from other countries. I came here from Dominican Republic when I was 17. So I like making the connections on every other Latina out there that came from anywhere in the world. It doesn't matter, as long as I get to know them, know their story, know their struggles, and see them rise and shine in this land of opportunity. So when I saw that, I say, you know what, let me send a request to join. And here I am. And I am so happy, because it was one of the best decisions that I made. to click the, I want to belong to that Latina
The
Facebook
Jefas
group.
Unidas Latina Entrepreneurs Facebook group. I started that maybe like it's been a year and a half, maybe 2 years now, probably a little over 2 years. And it was just because I wanted an entrepreneurial focused space that was filled with all sorts of Latina women, because I wanted to support my sisters. I wanted to buy for my sisters as a business woman who needs support, needs, different things to run my own business, as well as, my everyday purchases. I need to buy things for gifts for people. I need to buy things for my health and wellness. I need to buy new books to keep inspired and to feature in Magistra magazine. And so I was like, why not intentionally focus my buying and vote with my dollars, and support people with my dollars, because I can either go on Amazon and I can buy a new book, or I can go into my, entrepreneurs Facebook group and buy a new book that a woman has just launched. And I'm so community, women supporting women who are Latina entrepreneurs. And it has provided me an opportunity to meet awesome women such as yourself. I have read your story, of course, and Marisol paints this beautifully colorful picture, not only, with telling her story, which, as you can imagine, a lot of our stories, there's a lot of ups and there's a lot of downs, and there's a lot of struggles, and there's a lot of overcoming those struggles and becoming the amazing women that we are today. And the way that you paint that picture, it just feels like I'm right there with you. From a small child describing, making sure that your brother had milk. And that is so powerful when I was reading that very beginning of your story, to then what you are doing now, and how far you have come. So tell us about what you are doing now and what we can see as, a Latina business owner, and what it is that you are providing and producing for us.
Sure. I am a founder affiliate of a company called North Star. And the reason that I joined this company is because the mission and the vision is all about mental health awareness. You and I both, and everyone else watching here, know that mental health awareness is something that nowadays we talk about it. Nowadays we make it a point to talk about it. But years ago, or not even years ago, a few years back only, it was something you can't talk about. We don't talk about mental health.
Yep.
Because if you have any mental health issue, people think that you're crazy. Let's be honest. That's what people think. And I saw mental health as soon as my mother died, when I was only 13 years old. And my grandmother went in a state of shock, and she never spoke again.
Wow.
And she, people would say, your grandmother is crazy. And I would say, well, why is she crazy? Well, what happened to your mom, and now she doesn't speak. So that was like a taboo, that people thought that because she went into shock and her mental health went down the drain, that, she was crazy. And I grew up with that in my mind. And that part of my life is not in the book, because I need to keep writing about my life. Is so much that has gone, that happened ever since I stopped writing at that moment, that I will continue, I promise. But mental health awareness is my mission and my vision. And I am so happy to belong to a company that has products that help with mental clarity. I'm not making any medical claims here. We don't do that. I don't make any income claims either, because we don't do that. But with this side business, like we were saying, we all need different streams of income nowadays. You see how expensive everything has gotten. Mm-hmm. So you have your job, but you need something else in order to help, survive. So my company has these wonderful products. They all, support the mental health. They are packed with nootropics. And the most wonderful thing is that not only they help with mental clarity and energy, we're like the first company that has an energy products that don't give you the jitters. You know how sometimes you take something and you feel like your heart, like, okay, there's something wrong here.
Right, right. It's too much for your
It's
system
too
almost.
much. Exactly. So we have like these products that have jitter-free blends in it that people are loving. And not only that, we also have weight loss products that you could use when you're using the energy product. And you've seen my journey. You've seen my post on Facebook. You've seen how much fat I have lost in so little. I call it little time because the products that I'm using, I only been using them for less than 3 months, and my changes are amazing. And it's not only, losing the weight, losing the fat, looking good, like people, it's feeling my mental clarity. And, when I was writing this book, Vigil, I gotta tell you, there were days that I was crying a lot because, when you go through life as a child and it's a hard life, that you always think about what happened to you and all that stuff, and you cried, and at some point I stopped crying, and I think it's because I was taking my products and I would say, I'm going to take this and I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write and I'm not going to cry because I needed that mental clarity in order to write the book. And it was such a wonderful, wonderful thing that I thank God that I found you, that that I could write this book, that I can actually put my story out there, because I always said to myself, you know what, I want to write a book, but it never crossed my mind. How was I going to write it? I said I could write whatever, but I don't even know what to do. I don't even know who to contact.
Yeah.
And you appear in my life, and I'm just like over the moon to have someone like you on my side, like guiding me through this whole thing. I really, really appreciate that.
Oh, thank you. Absolutely. And I learned through my experience with another set of women is when about, oh gosh, I think it's been about 5 or so years now. Actually prior to that, so this would be the third anthology that I have been participating in. The first one I produced, Voices of Queer Femmes, and it was a book of phenomenal feminine women who identified as members of the LGBT community, and they shared their stories from a feminine perspective. That was just mind-blowing on reading all of these stories. The second one was women from Empower Hour, which is a group that started in Northern California and has now gone across the state. And what I learned from that and being an editor for that book was that the more that we share our stories, the more that we are able to kind of pull the curtain back on on life, that it's not all wine and roses when you're an entrepreneur and when you are a woman who is striving for more. You're not settling for status quo. You're not settling for your life circumstances, that you are making those conscious decisions to say, I will progress and I will do other things. And I learned that through those experiences of really connecting with other women through the use of anthologies. And so during the last experience I had with the Empowered Women of Empower Hour, it was such a phenomenal experience to be the editor for that book, that it was right around the time when the book launched and I started the Latina Entrepreneurs group. And I thought, how amazing would it be if we are able to get together, as many Latina women as possible. Our goal was 50. So as many Latina women as possible to share our stories from our cultural perspective, where, as you stated, we don't talk about mental health issues. If we do, then you're labeled in a derogatory manner, or you're seen as weak or not capable, or something is wrong with you. If you are willing to step out and say, I am mentally struggling with this experience. I am so traumatized that I am being blocked from progressing in my life, and I don't know what to do about that. The fact that we are opening those doors and sharing these stories, my goal for this book is to, empower future Latinas of the world, empower current Latinas of the world to share that yes, bad things are going to happen to good people, unfortunately. What is the most important thing that we can do is what we do after the fact. How do we rise again? How do we lock arms with our sisters and say, I need help because I have just experienced this thing, this horrible situation, or I was born into an environment that wasn't going to provide me with opportunity that I desire. How can I get out and find those opportunities? How can I get connected with other opportunities and feel comfortable to the fact that we are sharing with women that we share culture with, that we share our love of families with, our love of our culture, and to not say, oh, well, because we are of a Latin culture, we can't talk about these things. How about we say, we are bold and brave women of the Latin culture, and we are going to come together to share these stories, because not only will it give us relief on getting those heartaches out into the world without having to hold them inside, but imagine what our stories will do to help other women, to help young girls who are trying to figure out their lives. Because I know when I left my small town, I joined the Navy so that I could get out into the world, because I knew I was not going to accomplish the life that I knew was out there for me if I stayed in my small town. I had to get out, but I didn't know how. And I didn't know anybody who was a part of my community who had done anything different other than, grow up in the same town, have a family, have a job, and stay there for the rest of their lives, which was great if that's what you choose. But that's not what I wanted to do. And so I needed to find a way to get out. My goal for this book is to show that here are amazing women who have seen some serious hardcore struggles. And here are some ways that they have gotten out of that situation, how they have climbed the ladder, climbed out of the deep, dark holes to create this amazing life for themselves. Our event is coming up on July 15th. I will post the link to register in the comments. And I will also come back and post links to Marisol's products and information so that you can learn even more about what she does. Did you still want to share with us? Did you want to share your screen and tell us more about what it is that you do?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's see if I can do that, because I know sometimes this thing is a little weird.
No problem. I
Let's
definitely want
see.
to give you this opportunity for us to learn more about you. And if folks are not able to attend the event in person, you can learn more about this amazing woman who is one of our contributors. She will be at the San Diego Power Luncheon, so I'm super excited about that, coming all the way from New Jersey. So that is phenomenal. I love when we have women fly in from different locations. Last summer, we had several women who flew in from the East Coast. It's just a phenomenal opportunity to get together. It's 4 hours of education on your business, on entrepreneurship. And then this one will be extra special because then we'll get to introduce you to all of the authors who are able to join us that day. So I'm super excited about that.
Okay, this thing is not letting me access to do that. I'm not sure why. We were just talking about this.
I know it's been we've had some funky internet connections this morning and technology struggles this morning,
It's
but
just crazy. It's
yeah.
not letting me do it. It's so strange. It's not letting me do it.
Okay. Well, what we'll do is send me a couple of different things and then I'll post it on our live stream.
Sure.
Once the video has concluded, then what I'll do is I'll come back and I'll make sure to share this within all of our groups, our Latina Entrepreneurs Facebook group, as well as we have a special group that's just for the authors of the book. So I'll make sure to put this video in there as well. I'm looking forward to feature as many of our authors throughout the next couple of weeks as we're leading up to the event. So if anyone out there has questions about the event, do you want to be one of our sponsors? Because we have some sponsorship opportunities. We need swag bag participants so that these amazing women who attend the event are able to receive, your products, your services, and our beautiful swag bags, because I'm a huge fan of those. My Point Credit Union and the National Latina Business Women's Association of San Diego are two of our amazing sponsors, as well as Femex Quarters, which is a woman-owned event space that provides awesome opportunity to women entrepreneurs in the San Diego area. Thank you to them so much for being also one of our sponsors. And so if you are interested in participating as a sponsor, as an attendee, make sure to get your tickets soon, because we will sell out before we get to the event. The event space, we're only welcoming 50 people in person, give or take or so, in fully inclusive lunch, as well as, of course, you get a book and 4 hours of an educational program, which is really geared towards helping the business women of diversity to grow and to help your business succeed and to help you as a business professional to thrive. Marisol, thank you so very much for joining me. Give us some final words before we get back to our regularly scheduled Sundays.
Well, I just want to thank you, Vihil, again for being such an amazing person. That, guys, this woman is just too much. I love her. I love her enthusiasm. I love what she's got to share with us Latinas. You know, I know that a lot of us struggle with, daily with different stuff. So, you just got to keep your head up and do whatever it is that you feel you're doing for yourself, not because someone told you to do it, not because you need to look good for this one or the other one. Always do what's best for you, because you are the only person that matters in your life. So keep your head up, keep going. I can't wait to see you and meet you in person. I will be there, everyone. So I'm bringing my husband, I'm bringing my products. I hope to see you there. Please share this with, whomever you know that will want to be there. We are here to support each other, and we're all Latinas. We're sisters. We got to do this. And I'm just happy that I will be there in person.
I can't wait to meet you. It's going to be so fun. We're going to have such a great time. And our location is right outside of the airport. So it's literally like maybe 5 to 10 minutes away from the airport in San Diego, which is also right by, the San Diego Bay, the harbor, and there's lots of amazing things to do here. So for folks that are flying in, I can certainly help with, putting together things to do in the area. So you'll have some things to explore while you're here, in addition to, of course, attending the amazing events. So thank you so much, Marisol, for your time this afternoon. I'm really looking forward to meeting with you in person. And thank you again so much for sharing your story in the Boss Latinas Anthology. Our publication is going to be just a groundbreaking opportunity to encourage and inspire future and Latinas of the world and current Latinas of the world to go for your dreams. And if you don't know how to do it, reach out for help, raise your hands, email people. Me as a women's empowerment business coach, my goal is to be a super connector. If I don't have resources that you need, then I know that there's going to be a woman in my circle that I can refer you to who will be able to help you, get started in a business, learn more about nootropic opportunities with Marisol, learn more about, writing a book or being in publications or, becoming a more skilled professional. Whatever it is that you need, don't be afraid to reach out to say that you need help with them, because that is what we are here to do, is to, rise up our community, through collective collaboration is how we all rise. So with that, thank you so very much. I'm Vihil Vigil, Women's Empowerment Coach with the Empowerment Empire, Editor-in-Chief of the Boss Latinas Anthology, with one of our amazing authors. And she's going to be she's going to have a special sponsored vendor table at the event. Marisol, thank you so very much for your time today. And I look forward to seeing you on July 15th.
Thank you so much, Vihil, and I'll see you soon.
Sounds great. Have a great weekend.
You too.